Well, the EU foreign policy chief calls China's proposal to resolve the war interesting, but it's not a full-fledged peace plan. I spoke earlier to Josep Borrell about that and Europe's own strategy to see Russia defeated.
We will continue supporting Ukraine. Certainly, last year Russia got a lot of money because of the high prices of energy, and we were still very much dependent on the Russian gas imports. But that's over. Europe is no longer consuming Russian gas. We were 40% dependent, now it's almost 6% dependency. No Russian oil, a cap on Russian oil. Russia is getting half of the price of the market for its oil. This year is going to be a much more difficult year for the Russian economy. And from the technological point of view, from the economic point of view, Russia is going to pay a big price for this war. The sanctions work, but they work slowly. You cannot expect sanctions to have a miracle capacity of stopping the war overnight.
Well, some may say that sanctions have actually failed in many ways to deter Putin or discourage him. His grip on power is stronger than ever. He's at 80% approval ratings in Russia. Russians are digging in the east of the country, and the violence is set to intensify. So what else, Mr. Borrell? What more can be done? We've seen plenty of sanctions, plenty of summits. Are we expected to see more of that? Because that hasn't really moved the needle when it comes to deterring Putin.
More of the same. You say, what else can be done? You know, we have to continue doing the same thing that we have done, increasing the scale. For example, military support. It has to speed up. Ukraine needs ammunition. We have to provide this ammunition. We have to continue implementing the sanctions, avoiding some trying to circumvent these sanctions. We have to have a strategic patience, a strategic will.
Let's talk diplomacy then, if I may. Both the US and the NATO chief, Jens Stoltenberg, have said that they see signs that China is considering and may be planning to send arms to Russia. If China is drawn into this war, Mr. Borrell, what will that mean?
Well, by the time being, as Secretary of NATO Stoltenberg has recognized it, there is no evidence that China is providing arms to Russia. And the State Councilor Wang Yi insisted to me, personally, directly, the other day in Munich, that China is not providing and is not going to provide arms to Russia. It doesn't mean that we don't have to be vigilant. We have to stay vigilant and look what's going on. And if there is some evidence and there is some sign that this could happen, then we'll see. But we don't have any interest on leaning Russia on the hands of China. China has presented a plan, which is, if I may say, is not the peace plan, is a position paper.
But at the same time, and you mentioned this, China has abstained from the vote at the UNGA yesterday, calling for Russia to end hostilities, of course, in Ukraine and withdraw its forces. How do you read this? I mean, is China here, Mr. Borrell, playing a double game?
Well, everybody knows that China is siding Russia, is proclaiming an unlimited friendship, nothing new. By the way, I think that in order for China to have credibility on presenting proposals, they should go also to Kiev. Wang Yi went to Moscow. He should go to Kiev. When the president of Senegal or the president of Indonesia presented plans or proposals, they went both to Moscow and Kiev. If China wants to have credibility and not be considered one-sided, I advise them to go to Kiev also.